pleasure of being in some relationships that were quite interesting. When I say interesting, I mean turbulent. I didn't see a lot of the red flags, or maybe I did see the red flags, but I chose to, go forward in hopes that I could change this man. Now, let me just tell you something that I learned. You cannot change anybody. They're not gonna change unless they wanna change. I'm gonna talk to you about reasons that you should probably move forward. Why you need to wipe your hands clean. You don't need to waste any more time with this person because they are dragging the life out of you and you know it. I say these things to you with an open heart, with love in my system, so that you, my friend, can move forward and be happy. Now, here's the thing. I run an all girls Instagram page. So I usually talk to my girls all day and night about relationships, money, health, wealth, fitness, life, all that. So, when we get into our conversations about relationships and, I ask them questions, I have this thing called tribe advice where they'll ask me a question, I'll give my answer, but then I'll let the other girls on the page answer too, because you're always going to need different opinions on things. And then, the ones that could resonate with you the most is what you choose. So during my tribe advice, I want to go through a few questions that they ask, and I want to tap on them and, see if I could possibly help you out too. So before I start this video, before I go into this, I want to highlight Lume Cube. Lume Cube is the reason that I look so good on this camera and that you can hear me, because I have this microphone, which I will definitely tag below, but I have this microphone on my camera right now that's giving me this wonderful sound. When I'm out and about and I want to use my phone to record, I can use this nice gadget to actually do that for me and keep a steady hand, because that is so important. You know it. You don't want to have a phone like this. So yeah, Lume Cube, man, they pretty much provide products that can help you create wonderful content for whatever you're doing. So big ups to Lume Cube. I truly appreciate you guys for helping me out, making me look real good. If you do want to follow the all women's Instagram page, it's called The Women's Restroom. I love that name because when we see each other in the restroom, we just get to talking. Hey girl, like that is a cute lipstick that you have on. What is that? That's where we get all our knowledge from. So The Women's Restroom, follow us on Instagram. I also have a blog where I spiel out everything that is all female. So our first question is, hi, I've been dealing with my sister's crazy toxic relationship and I'm at a crossroads. She isn't listening to anyone and is willing to put this guy above her kids and family. How should I handle this? Because for years, I've been supporting her decision, but I can't do it any longer. Let's tap on this. Now, you can't control other people. You cannot determine what someone else does. When it comes to the matters of the heart, people get real selfish. They can't even figure out which hand is the right or left. Now, in regards to this, if you have a friend or a family member who's going through something that you wouldn't take part of, that's literally their problem. You wouldn't do those things. That person would do those things. So in reality, you can't just go to your sister, friend, whatever, and be like, hey, you need to leave him. That's not realistic. So what you should do is take the time to realize this first, and then you take the steps to love that person. But if it's not serving you, you have to do it from afar. I know it's difficult because it's your sister, or it's a really good friend and you want to make sure that they are okay. I was in this situation so many times, and my sister had to do the same thing with me. She had to give me space to figure it out myself. So I would go through that crazy, toxic, turbulent relationship and figure it out myself and come around when I was done doing that. Now, she wasn't around because that was too turbulent for her. So instead, when I needed her the most, she was like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still here for you. I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to be here every day because I don't agree with this psycho that you're dating. So unfortunately, you have to provide space for someone to grow, especially if you love them. You can't be like, I don't want to talk to you no more. Everything you do is in love. So if you do have someone like that, you have to realize that they have to go through these things on their own. If this is the person that you are and your family and friends are like, hey girl, why are you with him? Then you have to go through this on your own. Do not bring this toxic relationship into your other relationships. Do not always go to your friends to talk about this guy. They probably tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about this man. Why don't you just leave him if you're so unhappy? And you're just using them to vent. So all they know is that this guy is toxic towards you. So in reality, you have to create space for situations like that to progress. Now, our next question. What's your advice with being in love with someone who isn't emotionally ready to be in a relationship right now? Okay, this is a big one, because what we tend to do as people who want to be in love and be in relationships with someone that we really like is that we choose to put on our rose-colored glasses. We don't want to hear that you're not ready. We want to try to make you ready. We want to be selfish and make sure that we get what we want out of this. Now, the thing about a man, because that's what I date, thing about men is that they tell you exactly what they want. But that doesn't mean that they don't have needs. They will keep you around. They will keep having sex with you. They will keep going to dinner with you, but they will literally tell you that they don't want a relationship. So the whole time your dumb ass is rolling along, oh, that's my man, and the whole time he fucking you, fucking her, fucking whoever, because he told you he doesn't want a relationship. He's not emotionally ready to have a relationship with you, but here you are giving him your time, your energy, your love, things that you can reserve for someone else who is ready for you. You're giving it to him for free. And what he's doing is he's taking it because you're giving it to him. So if someone is telling you, I'm not emotionally ready, you need to believe them. You need to understand that that's exactly what they mean. Even if they're like, hey girl, what you doing tonight? You want to go get this? It could be very confusing if you let it. Now you have to stop and take control of this situation. If you ask yourself, what do I truly want? Do I want a relationship? And if the answer is yes, and this person that you like is like, I don't want a relationship, then you have to stop and be strong enough to be like, I'm not gonna waste my time on you. I'm not giving you all of me, and you're not giving me all of you. Like, that shit for the birds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take care of me first. I'm gonna go elevate, and there's probably someone way better than you on the way, and I gotta make room for this. I gotta make room, and you can't fill up my space. You have to love yourself more than this potential person that you want around, because literally that's not fair for you. You have to understand that you need someone who's going to give you 100 just like you're going to give them 100. So keep that in mind. If they are not emotionally available for you, if they tell you, I'm not emotionally available for you, believe them. If they're like, I'm not emotionally ready for you, but let's go to dinner tonight and let's have sex, and then you're like, yeah, okay, because you know, this will lead to a relationship. No, it won't. No, it won't. It could, but just think in your head it won't, because they could string you along forever. So if they are not emotionally ready for you, deuce. If that's what you want, if you want a relationship and they are not ready, deuce, make room for someone else. Let me just remind you how important it is to continue to choose yourself, even when dating, even when being in relationships, because you matter more. What you'll see is, like, over time in relationships, I've been in my relationship about 1.5 years, almost 2, and we've gone through situations where I've had to mesh and mold with him because I'm very like strong. Like, it's like, girl, calm down. So I've had to learn to like ebb and flow in my relationship without giving up who I truly am. Now, I'm not the type to like fold over and say, okay, I'm not that girl. So in my relationship, I still have to be who I am. Like, no, I don't like that. No, I ain't doing that. No, we ain't doing this. So, and he's the same way. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. So, you know, I think it's good to continue to choose you first. Keep doing the things that you love. I love to go to yoga. I love to make time to do stuff like that. I love to go out by myself sometimes. Like, keep making time to be you, to feed into you, to love yourself, to be, you know, choose yourself. You need to consistently have that independence, okay? You need to be independent, and you need to depend on yourself only, and sometimes other people. Now, don't let nobody walk over you. That's not cute. So you need to grab your balls, and you need to like really set your boundaries when you're dealing with somebody else. Like if you see something you don't like about that person, something that's going to bother you for a long period of time, maybe it's like, hey, you ever thought about this, doing something else, or this bothers me, maybe we can figure out a way around it. And never be afraid to insert yourself in this relationship, because it's not one-sided. Dating is fucking terrible. Getting to know people is fucking terrible. So when you are learning somebody, you have to continue to put your boundaries down, or you're just gonna live your life based on them. At one point, I was in this very turbulent relationship. I was actually engaged. Now, this relationship was spent, it was all him. It was him. We're feeding into him, his dreams, his goals, where he want to live, where he want to go, what he want to do, what he want to wear. It was all him. So I didn't get to be myself in this relationship. When I did choose to be myself, like, hey, I'm gonna go take an Instagram picture because I feel good, he would make that about himself. Why would you do that to me? Why would you take this picture and put your ass out like this? Me, 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 me. Oh my God. And then it became, I just got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I lost myself. My business was suffering. Everything was pretty much going to shit. And it was all because I let this man control my whole entire life. That's my fault. That's not his. He's just living his life. It's my fault because I allowed that. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't have the guts to stand up and go, I'm not gonna, no. I'm not gonna do this. I don't want this. I'm moving on. And you could stay and do this, psycho. So it's very important that you continue to be yourself, because it could lead into a manipulative, abusive, emotionally, physically, mentally relationship that just really destroys you as a person. And you don't want those problems. So my suggestion would be to continue to be yourself, set boundaries, continue to do the things you love, include your friends. Don't disappear on your friends. Don't disappear on your friends. There's far too many girls that I know who get into relationships and then they just go, bloop. I used to be one. I used to be like, all right, y'all be fine, until I get back 6 years later and then I need you. No, you need to continue to live your life. If you are in a new relationship and you are neglecting your friends, do me a favor today, call them and say, do you want to hang out this weekend? If it's the weekend, say, you want to hang out next weekend? When can we hang out? When can I talk? Because you need that time. You need your friends. Don't neglect your friends when you are dating someone new. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. If y'all have questions as far as relationships, you need advice, you want me to tell you about my past, because it's so much, we got a lot to talk about. I'm just deciding to talk about my past relationships now on my YouTube, because before I was like, meh, who needs to hear this? But a lot of people do need to hear this. I've dealt with domestic abuse situations, emotional abuse, manipulation, all of it. So we'll get into it. I'll be a big sis. We'll talk about it. Just put your comments below, and that's it. That's it today. Talk to you later.